I'm about to share with you a Sherwin-Williams color palette that I put together utilizing Eider White by Sherwin-Williams. This is a color we recently reviewed on the channel, so if you want to have more information on it specifically, I'll leave it in the description down below. But this video is all about our palette pyramid, our 6-color palette that you can use in your home or even on your home if you really wanted to. All 6 of these colors work really well interchangeably. Some accent colors, a few support colors that you can use on trim and things like that, and then of course a main color that ties it all together. ThePaintPeople.com is your go-to destination for quality paint and paint supplies. We're more than just a paint store, we are your partner in bringing color to life. Our commitment to fast shipping ensures that your order will reach you promptly so you can start your project without unnecessary waiting. Visit our website today and discover a world of colors, quality, and convenience. And as a thank you for supporting us on YouTube, use coupon code JAMES5 for 5% off your order. So why don't we start right there with our main color, which of course is Eider White. A former color of the month, not quite color of the year caliber apparently, Eider White is one of my favorites by Sherwin-Williams. It's a lovely off-white, it feels very soft, and considering it's labeled as a white, it has a decent amount of depth to it with a 73 LRV, or light reflectance value. 0 to 100, the higher that number, the brighter the color is. So not super bright, but also kind of in that lighter echelon of paint colors. The depth that it brings is fascinating because of the fact that it's not a really cool blue leaning off-white, but it's also not a beige leaning one either. It really straddles the line in a nice way. Kind of a stony sort of gray quality in the background, maybe a bit of taupe perhaps, but it does feel relaxing yet still crisp, which I do like. So at the top of the pyramid, Eider White sits proudly on the pinnacle. This is going to be your main color of the whole palette, so the one you can use the most theoretically. You can have it all over your house if you wanted to, but let's say you wanted to incorporate other paint colors. Well, we'll move down the palette pyramid to our second tier, which is of course our support colors or our secondary options. And for this level, I have 2 options, one very light and one not so light. The light option is going to be Snowbound, which of course is a much brighter white paint color than Eider White. This is going to be your option if you want something white in your home, whether it's your trim, your doors, your frames, your crown molding, whatever the case may be. If you're using Eider White as the predominant color, Snowbound would be my choice for a white color to pair with it. A real white paint, not an off-white. Our second support color is quite a bit darker, but this could be a good choice if you wanted another color for the walls in your rooms that maybe needed a little more depth. Argos would be my second support color. So this choice is going to be very different from Eider White and especially Snowbound. It's very rich. It has a 51 LRV, so that makes it pretty much a mid-tone paint color through and through. And you also have quite a bit more coolness coming through, like an unadulterated coolness. Really cool. What can still be described as a bit of a stone gray, this one is less on the taupey brown side and more so on that cooler, almost teal lean, like a bit of blue, a bit of green mixed together, but still pretty toned down and shaded. So it isn't that gray collection of colors, but a pretty noticeable amount of blue-green, especially compared to Eider White. They are somewhat complementary, but still within that neutral colorscape. So I think they go together really, really well. All right, moving on to our finishing colors. This is going to be the tier, the bottom row, that are more of your accent choices, bringing in either more depth or saturation or maybe some more vibrancy and some fun. The first option I would recommend is Acier. And this is a color that really just feels like a much, much deeper version of Eider White. A bit of a ground base, some subtle warmth, definitely a taupe feeling throughout. So nice combination of that brown and that gray coming together, but it does lean to the warm side of things ever so slightly. Your lighting may make it appear cooler than it actually is, but you only know that if you test it out, so please test your paint colors. But a perfect darker neutral paint color with a 32 LRV if you wanted that same sort of essence of Eider White, but just a lot more richness. Maybe it's a room that gets a ton of light, so you're afraid Eider White might get washed out a bit. This color is not going to get washed out. It is quite rich indeed. This next option is one I haven't really talked about before, but I'm pretty excited to introduce it to you guys. Similar vibe to the last one, kind of. It's called Poised Taupe, but if you see it on the screen, or if you see it on the walls especially, you will notice this is more than just gray and brown mixed together. You have that introduction of red, which can sometimes give you this sort of burgundy feeling, or even a bit of a purple vibe in some cases. And this is a color that feels less like a neutral when you use it. The good news is it's not super vibrant. It has that undertone that really makes it different, but it's not going to feel too out there. So it still fits within that semi-neutral color scheme that a lot of people do enjoy. Just a little bit of a nearly neutral that I like to throw in once. We then have our most vibrant of the finishing colors. It's called Jasper Stone. Now we're coming back to that cool theme that maybe Argos really introduced to us, but this is a color that doesn't have a ton of that grayed out feeling to it. It feels more pure in its turquoise nature, that gentle bluey green color, little bit of a gray feeling over top, but not so much, especially compared to the other colors. This is one that you will notice. It's gonna pop the most, and I think it's gonna feel like your most fun accent color of the finishing choices. So bathroom color, bedroom color even, cabinetry, furniture, I can really see this working in a lot of circumstances. Great color, really fun, and here is the palette all together. Please let me know what you think of it. Also, if you want your own personalized color palette made from me, we do offer it as a service down below, whether you need a 3-color palette or all the way up to a 12-color palette. If you're doing your whole house, we can do that. More information down below. And we have another video right over here.